I'm Tiffany Red, and this is 100 Mag TV.
Welcome back to another episode of 100 Mag TV. So today I'm going to discuss our decision to file a formal complaint with the Department of Justice against the music giants. So we filed the complaint against all three music groups, that is Universal, Sony, and Warner. We filed the complaint against the DSPs, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, Google Play. Actually, I think we might have to add Google Play in there. I don't think Google Play is on there. Pandora, and the Copyright Royalty Board. So I wanted to just walk through the bullet points of the letter, give you guys our reasoning for filing the complaint, and, some of my commentary at the end. Okay, so let's start with the letter, shall we? Okay, so the subject of the letter is complaint regarding antitrust violations by major music groups, streaming platforms, and the Copyright Royalty Board. Dear Sir or Madam, my name is Tiffany Red. I'm a Grammy-winning songwriter and founder and executive director of the music creative advocacy organization, The 100 Percenters. I'm writing to inform you of potential antitrust violations within the music industry involving major entities such as Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, Sony Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Diesel, Tidal, and the Copyright Royalty Board. I'm going to add Google Play to this complaint, by the way. The music industry, particularly the recorded music sector, has experienced substantial growth, generating a global revenue of $26.2 billion in 2022, with 65% originating from streaming. While these figures highlight the industry's success, alarming disparities in revenue distribution raise concerns about anti-competitive practices. Critical points of concern: compensation disparities and Copyright Royalty Board influence. Point 1. In the streaming era, songwriters face a significant challenge being confined to the publishing share of the revenue from the song. Historically, songwriters have been getting publishing for their involvement in a composition since the beginning of the music industry. Now, since then, how we make money from a song has drastically changed. Every time a format changes, some new shit happens. So the current format that is dominating is streaming. So the way that we get paid from streaming is nowhere near comparable to how we got paid from radio or sales. So let's put a pin in that. Point 2. Songwriters and publishers receive a mere 15.1% of streaming revenue in the U.S., while record labels and artists claim 52 to 57%, and digital service providers secure 27.9 to 32.9%. Point 3. These rates, decided on by the Copyright Royalty Board, contribute to a disproportionate distribution, impeding our ability to earn a livable wage. One of our major concerns is being classified as an independent contractor who, by definition, is supposed to be able to self-govern the services and work they do for other entities. We do not have that right because the Copyright Royalty Board decides how much money we make. Very, very similar to minimum wage. It's like the same thing. And so I don't understand how we could be classified correctly as independent contractors if the government regulates how much money we make. Okay, so jumping back into these points. Point 4, in 2022, U.S. recorded music made $15.9 billion, while U.S. music publishing made $5.6 billion. That's a $10.3 billion difference. So one of the arguments I'm really, really trying to make very clear is that the value of publishing has been stripped in the streaming era and moved over to the master side of the song. So for those of you who don't understand what it is that I'm saying, a copyright, there's one copyright, but it's partitioned. And it's not split down the middle. It's split 15.1 over here, 52 to 57 over here, 27 to 20, what is it? 27.9 to 32.9 over here. It's very, very imbalanced, right? And so because majority of the revenue goes to the record companies who, when they purchase a song for their artist, buys the master of the song. They control the part of the song that makes the most money. And because it makes the most money, it carries the most power and influence on the systems that run this business. So going back to the stat of recorded music in the US made $15.9 billion last year, and publishing made $5.6 billion. Why? Why is recorded music making so much more than publishing from the same song? Point 5. Songwriters are denied songwriting fees from record labels and artists for the contribution to the creation of the song's recording, while producers are paid a fee and given the right to negotiate a contract. Now, songwriters historically, again, are not paid upfront for the service they provide. But be clear, we provide a service. We don't just go in the studio and write a song. We sit down with an artist, and I can speak as being a songwriter. Anytime I go into the studio with an artist, I get to know who they are, learn about them, get to know their story, spend time, like really, really fellowship before we write a song. I really, really make sure that the song that we write together is one that they are just as invested in and attached to and see themselves in as I do. So when we go into the studio, we're writing the song. A lot of us are creating the vocal arrangement of the song, not just writing the lyrics and the melodies. We are creating the backgrounds and all the oohs and the ahs and the catchy moments throughout the song. We do that too. We vocal arrange, we vocal produce. Now, vocal production used to be a very lucrative part of the music industry, and I'm sure for some vocal producers it still is. But the reality is this is a service that songwriters are scammed out of. It's like, oh, you just push it all into one thing. You write the song, you vocal arrange the song, you vocal produce the song on the artist, and you get no fee for any of the service you provide. Now, as an independent contractor, it is our right to be paid for our services and our rights. Now, what are our rights? Our intellectual property, 2 different income streams. They just are. But what do? They lump it into one and deny us that right of getting to the more lucrative side of the song where the revenue is because of how things are historically as things have evolved right in front of us. It's crazy. Subject 2, pro rata system inequities. Point 1, the current streaming model's pro rata system disproportionately favors popular singles, placing middle-class songwriters who create the remaining songs on the albums and projects that aren't the singles at a financial disadvantage. Because the single is a song that earns the most, that's marketed the most, that's pushed in front of the consumer the most, of course, it's everybody's favorite song. Of course, it's everywhere. You see it everywhere. You can't get away from it. So now that we don't have to go and purchase an entire project to listen to our favorite songs on that project, and we're able to just like skip through and create our own playlists and this, that, and the third. The full body of work and everybody that contributed to it is now not compensated adequately. There was a time when songwriters and producers could purchase homes and live a great middle class life off of album cuts. And not only has the record companies been greedy and took all the money, but the CRB allowed them to do it. They knew that we were making money before all of this, and they allowed it to go down like this anyway, while the money is still being made. I think that's the part that's the worst for me, is that the money is still being made. They make it seem like these songs ain't shit. Like when I think about the Renaissance tour, or even like the Taylor Swift, the like two biggest tours this summer, Taylor Swift and Beyonce, every song that they got on that stage and performed is not the single. It just isn't. If Beyonce's Renaissance tour was dependent on just the singles, what would it have been? It wouldn't have been the Renaissance tour, because Renaissance is an album. It's an album. And what does that album do? What do all those songs do? Allow artists to create an experience, allow artists to create tours that turn them into billionaires. There's absolutely no reason, with the amount of money that's being generated from the songs that we create, that we should not be making a livable wage off these records. There's no excuse when billions of dollars are being generated. It's with intention, which is why we're filing this. Because to me, this gives me collusion. And what is collusion? It's people coming together to conspire and do some fucked up shit. And that's what this is. This is the music groups, the DSPs, and the Copyright Royalty Board working together to disenfranchise a whole group of people who still provide the songs and the services. Subject 3, misallocation of publishing rights. Point 1, a common practice is that artists and their representatives receive publishing rights for songs they did not contribute to, leading to reduced royalties from actual songwriters and producers. So, all of these artists and executives and whoever else is on the publishing that didn't write a damn song, you're literally robbing us of our wage. The only reason why we can't accuse you guys yet of wage theft is because we're misclassified, which is illegal. We just have to prove it. For artists to continue to take the only income stream songwriters have from the song is a fucking disgrace. And it's ridiculous that we have to go this far and take it to the Department of Justice and try to get them to care about this, to check y'all. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wage theft, and we're going to fucking prove it. Subject 4. Point 1. Music creatives are often discouraged from negotiating fair compensation with artists and labels and threatened with retaliation. If we are independent contractors, and it is our right to self-govern, it is our right to make sure that the business that we do with other companies and other independent contractors is mutually beneficial. The response trying to get a songwriter fee, the response trying to get a session fee, the response trying to negotiate fair splits. Like the conversations that I have with songwriters and producers about the struggle to negotiate a fair split while these artists are touring with this music, releasing the music, putting it out, promoting it, all of this shit. And the literal business is not even done. Not only is the business not done, but it's not honored. So even when a songwriter is assertive, hey, this is how I do business, if you are not in the 1%, it is not honored. And not only is it not honored, you are punished for it. That is not being an independent contractor. That's giving, I work for you. You make the rules. And if you make the rules, then I need to be classified as an employee, and you need to be paying the correct taxes for me. You need to be making sure that Social Security is taken out of my check. You need to be making sure that my overtime is considered. You need to be making sure all the things. You can't have both. You can't be in control and say I work for myself. Last subject, misclassification. Music creatives are classified as independent contractors, but are denied fundamental rights, including the right to self-govern and receive payment for their services. I mean, I feel like that's self-explanatory. If I work for myself, I can make the rules. I can't make the rules, so I work for you. In closing, the letter states, these practices and the industry's transformation have led to income erosion for us, while major music groups and streaming platforms continue accumulating significant profits. The songwriting community has been voicing concerns for years about our inability to make a livable wage due to streaming, and the unwillingness of music groups to evolve our business relationships with them. Unfortunately, these concerns have been ignored, with the industry turning a blind eye to the urgent need for change. We urge the Department of Justice to investigate these allegations thoroughly and take appropriate action to ensure competition, transparency, and just compensation within the music industry. Warm regards, Tiffany Red, founder and executive director of the 100 Percenters. So the Department of Justice does not have to get back to you once you file a complaint. If they have any questions or concerns, they'll reach back out to us and ask. If they decide to open an investigation, they will not notify us. They will just do it. We're going to file claims with everybody we could file a claim with on top of pursuing this union election, and we'll see what happens. But what I want to do is lay everything out so that it's all clear, layman's terms, so that we can all understand it. Because what the industry does, what this country does, it loves to bury you in legal jargon and all this complicated shit, when the bottom line is to be independent is to be able to choose. We don't have a choice. So I hope that, I hope that the DOJ takes this complaint serious. I hope they really consider it. We just going to keep going, and we're going to keep putting it in front of everybody that we can put it in front of, and hopefully get this thing changed. Hopefully just continue to prove our case and get more people involved. If you haven't already, switching gears real quick, this is not 100 Percenters or 100 Mag TV related. This is about the Songwriter and Composers Guild, which is the other organization that I'm currently working on. And we are in the process of collecting union authorization cards. There's about 500 cards out right now. We have about 250 back in, I want to say. Our goal is to get to 1,000 cards before we begin to engage with the National Labor Relations Board for a union election. The more cards we have, the better. I mean, I would love to have way more than 1,000 cards. I'd love to have 10,000 cards or 5,000 cards to bring to them, to show, hey, we're not the only ones who feel this way. Here's 5,000 people who feel the same way and who want the same things. So if you haven't already, please complete your union authorization card. If you've already submitted a request for it, it's sent to you via DocuSign. And yeah, we're just going to go for it. We're going to do everything we can do. and I'm going to do everything I can do. What you guys are watching me do is try. I remember not too long ago, earlier in the year, I had somebody say to me that my efforts were not going to end in a union. And I told this person, I said, regardless of the result of all of this, what you will bear witness to is me trying. I have no control over what the National Labor Relations Board decides. I don't. I also understand that we don't have enough people yet for an antitrust violation to even be considered about us yet, because we don't have any real collective power yet. So all of it is fear mongering. And guess what? I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the DOJ says. I'm excited to see how this impacts the conversation. I'm excited to continue on this journey. And yeah, we'll see what happens. That's up to God. We have no control. So I'm just doing my due diligence and doing everything that I can do and exhausting all possibilities, all options. That's why I said I'm going to the IRS. I'm going to the Department of Justice. I'm going to the Federal Trade Commission. I'm going to the Better Business Bureau to see, do we have a case here? Is this something that you guys do? All you could do is try. That's all you could do is try. But if you don't try, nothing happens. Everything stays the same. And right now, things are fucked up. So with that being said, if you want to check out our letter to the Department of Justice, I will link it in the description of this video. You can also find it at the100percenters.com. Click under our letters and I think it's letters and complaints or letters and filings. And you'll see that letter and other letters and complaints that we have filed. Well, actually, this is the first complaint we filed, but you'll see other letters that we've written, and that'll be where all of the things live. So once we start to engage with the IRS, whatever comes back will be available there. All of our correspondence will be available there so that you can see what it is that we're doing. Thank you for joining me for another episode of 100 Mag TV. I hope that this video helped you understand things a little bit more. And if you have any questions, leave the questions in the comments. I'm always in the comments reading stuff. DM me, DM the 100 percenters, DM 100 Mag TV. Our door is open, and yeah, let's talk. Thank you for your support. If you haven't yet, fill out your union authorization card. I love y'all. Until next time.